This is Common Courtesy with Sean Nicholas.
She got that cushy $1 million.
So are you saying like one of those adults could be a doll?
Yeah, dog.
But that
No, come on. So that,
Nikki Prue.
You sound like you're at least in your 20s. So my advice would be like, go get an apartment and maybe test out some dating sites because I don't.
Courtney Harbaugh.
Okay, well, first of all, was it a suspect or was it his significant other? That's an honest question.
Angelique Young.
Run the risk of getting a fine, and you run the risk of potentially going to jail for coming here. It doesn't mean you can't stay home and do it. How many people?
No, that's wrong.
Ivan Alexander.
I mean, the video could have been done a little differently. I mean, I just think, again, to me, it's extreme, but that's just my opinion. So I'm going back to my wine. We're good.
And Dr. Christina Palin.
Look who he was for Trump, and look at how he's getting nothing from that circle, right? And even
I'm so excited. We have a full cast again. Yay! Everybody's on here.
Tonight's topics. We react to Senator Joe Manchin blocking Democrats' voting reform bill and the filibuster. Then, is the case of simple dress code violation or something more? After that, we give a woman advice on boyfriend trouble and anniversary gifts. Sit back and enjoy the conversation. Hey guys, and welcome back to Common Courtesy. I'm your host and moderator, Sean Nicholas. And next to me, I have my lovely co-host, Nikki Prue. How are you?
I'm good. Excuse me. Sounding weird, but I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We had a little craziness getting started today. Like I had a craziness, getting everything ready and all the visuals. But here we are. We made it. All right, on the bottom of her, we have Ivan Alexander. Ivan, how are you tonight?
I was jamming out to our intro music. I was just like, yeah, okay, we're good. But he's back.
Same, bitch. Because sometimes you have to really time it right. Because I'll be dancing and then I'm like, oh shit, I got to put everyone on screen.
That's why I came in I'm just like, oh, oops, there we go. We're live.
It's a live show. I know, it's fun. All right, next to him we have Dr. Palin. How are you?
good. How are you? I love how you dance. I've been wanting to tell you that forever.
Oh, thank you. I love your outfit. Let's be honest. You're killing it.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet as well. All right, guys. So let's get right on moving. We have a fun night filled with some fun topics, but I always like to start out the night with a viral video of the week. So again, this one is from my favorite content creator, Love Sex in LA.
Wake up, buddy. Buddy, wake up, I need you. No, you stay with me. You stay with me. Buddy, wake up, buddy. Buddy, wake up, I need you. No, you stay with me.
So first, let's
about that.
First, well, I have some things. First, let's go to Nikki. Nikki, how did you?
I'm sorry. I started crying about it immediately. That's now officially one of my favorite ones. And I already want to send it to every single one of my friends, in case they haven't seen it, because that was hilarious.
He's very clever. Ivan, let me go to you. Ivan, how did you?
He's my favorite person now.
Well, that caught me off guard. That totally caught me off guard. I'm like, what am I watching? Okay, and I had to kind of put it in context first and go, you know what? I may have to watch that again to really get it. Because I was like, what the heck is this? So This time you got me, okay? Because I'm just sitting there going, I need to see that before we did the show so I would know what to say. Because I'm like,
Well, it's a video meme. And like the one thing is like I had to put that on there because I have, it's all about sex. It's all about sex. And you have some people being like, I love being choked. And I always have that fear. I always have that fear, if you go too far and they're like kind of like unconscious, and that's kind of like
I got it. I'm just kind of looking at the whole visual with the. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, I need to watch this again.
Hey Shayla, how are you? All right, Dr. Palin.
Yes, I was. You know what I was doing just now? I have the Facebook Live. And so I'm just like trying to. For some reason, they were saying that I don't. It doesn't. My friends don't get notified. I was trying to get more, like for people on my Facebook to see that we're doing this podcast. So I have my phone and I'm going Facebook Live, and some people are enjoying it, but they're saying that
Can we answer this? Can we answer this later? Because like we're stretched for time. All right.
Okay, we'll so get to that. I have to say I have no comment on that. I mean, like it was funny, but kind of like dry funny.
Cool beans. Cool beans.
Sick individual. I like haven't been able to stop laughing at it. I thought it was so funny.
You're gonna hit or miss with it. I'll be honest. Like I'm a big fan of the show How to Get Away with Murder, so I had to do that shit because like literally. All right, so on to better things. Let's get into Senator Joe Manchin blocking. He's actually saying that he's going to block the voting bill. The voting reform bill, for the people bill that Democrats are proposing. And also he wants to now block the filibuster after years of saying that he wanted to get rid of it. Here's a little bit of him on Chris Wallace this weekend.
Senator McConnell, the head of the Republicans in the Senate, says that he's 100% focused on blocking the Biden agenda. Question, aren't you being naive about this continuing talk about bipartisan cooperation?
I'm not being naive. I think he's 100% wrong in trying to block all the good things that we're trying to do for America. We a lot better if we have participation, and we're getting participation, but when it comes time to final vote, I disagree with Leader McConnell on this, the minority leader on this issue, that he puts politics before the policies that I think we need for our country.
Okay, that's what he has to say. I just kind of want to jump in with Jess saying that she stands 100% with the filibuster and Joe Manchin, and it needs to stay in place. Let me go to Dr. Palin.
So here's my thing with this. I've been following this, and I've been wanting to really kind of make a comment on this. So I was really looking forward to it. So I feel like Joe Manchin is trying to kind of take the center stage to put himself up and full front on this. Initially, it started with the filibuster, and then all of a sudden, in the filibuster, he was opposing the filibuster, which it was kind of like yay or nay, okay, it's fine, but the most important thing that all of a sudden in the last 3 days, he has this issue that is also blocking the voting bill. I have no idea where that came from. And I mean, I'm 100% now convinced that this is so that he basically satisfies his base in West Virginia, which is all we know, really staunch, Republicans who believe in conspiracy theories.
Okay, Ivan, let me go to you. Him blocking this, is that okay?
Well, there's three sides to a story. So, I mean, two sides should match up. But my first question is, does anybody else believe he looks like Leona Helmsley? Is it just me? He looks a lot like Leona Helmsley. I'm just saying. So that kind of threw me off a little bit for a minute there. But I just think the whole thing is pretty disgusting. I mean, you have to. Voting is a right, and it shouldn't be messed with. It shouldn't be toyed with. And for people to put their own personal agendas involved in it, one way or the other, to me, is ridiculous. So I think there needs to be some more discussion on it. It needs to be looked into some more, and then go from there, and have everybody come together and just make it to the point where you can vote without issue, and let's move forward. It's ridiculous. It's 2021.
Okay, and then let me go to Nikki. Nikki, how did you feel about this?
Honestly, my thoughts kind of echo Ivan's pretty much to a T. I don't think that nothing should be made difficult about the voting process. And the bipartisan shit is it's kind of insane to me the more and more you look into it. And the more that I know about it, the more I don't want to know. So honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about it to say one way or another, but it sounds like it's kind of not the best decision to be blocking something that's going to improve voter rights or the voter experience, really.
Absolutely. I agree with that because that's how I kind of see this a little bit as, because one thing the bill was going to do was like it was expanding like automatic registration, voter registration. And then also as well, it was also allowing same day registration, 15-day early voting. And it also restores voting to like felons, which is something was a big argument and a big disenfranchised community in our country. So, I mean, I kind of think that he's trying to say that he's trying to be bipartisan, but he can't be because, we're seeing all over the country that Republicans are making these laws that are restricting people from making it harder. I'm not saying restrictive. I'm saying is making it a lot harder for people to vote based on, like I said, a big lie. Dr. Palin, did you have anything else you want to add to this? Oh, I think she froze a little.
Yes, I do, and thank you. And the other thing that I want to mention, yes, what I want to add about this is when Trump won in 2016, right? How come we weren't having all this chaos about restricting voting bills? Restricting voting bills, and this chaos about not, trying to get like not water to people who are standing in line. How come that didn't pass then? I mean, this is very clearly retaliatory conduct by those who still will not accept the fact that the election was won by Biden. I mean, there's no other way, I mean, in Florida, we had absolutely zero evidence of voter fraud, yet we have all of a sudden voting bill that passes. Then we have, for protesting, to discourage people from protesting, we have the anti-riot bill, which is going to get basically everyone in jail if you're even within 10 feet or 500 feet of a protest. So who's going to go out and protest, just even if there's a chance that they can use their discretion to say, hey, you in the black, you were rioting or you were disorderly conduct. Now you face 10 years minimum mandatory. I mean, come on. So these are all retaliatory conduct on the part of those Republicans who believe and will not accept that the election was won by Biden. We never had this before. So
right. Right. Ivan, how about you?
No, I agree. The whole thing is ridiculous. When everything works fine for him to get the people out there and voting and everything else, it was great for him to get his butt in the office. But now that he's been dethroned, or well, he should be on the throne anyway. But now that it didn't work in his favor, now we have all this BS going on. I think it's ridiculous. That's totally stupid. You should be able to just vote. You have. I mean, I agree. You should show ID. You have to prove who you are. But beyond that, all this other ridiculousness, just stop it. Just make voting that simple. To make it a vote, make it count every person correctly, and move on.
Absolutely. I think it's like the one thing is that voting has become politicized, and it shouldn't be. It should be an American right. Like, I think that a lot of things that shouldn't be politicized has become politicized, like women's rights, gay rights, Black, African-American rights. It all becomes a talking point at some point. And I think that even this is a talking point. And we're going to move on unless anyone else has anything to add on this topic.
No, I don't.
All right, we're all set. So I want to move on to this next one about this dress code violation because it's graduation season. And apparently, I understand when I was graduation, there was a certain type of dress. You had to wear dress pants, you had to wear dress shoes, a button-up shirt. But apparently this young boy named Ever Lopez didn't receive his diploma until today because he was wearing his Mexican flag. Here's a little bit of that.
I got up there, I went for the handshake, trying to get my cover, whatever it was. And she's like, you can't be wearing that. And I was like, I was in shock, I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you can't be wearing that flag. It's a distraction. I was like, no way, you're telling me this right now.
The district says Ever violated the graduation dress code by wearing the Mexican flag around his shoulders. He wasn't given his diploma.
I don't see this as a distraction. I'm just representing what I came from,
And before that, I just kind of want to mention that in Louisiana, Devarius Peters kind of faced the same type of thing. He was wearing these black shoes. They were nice leather black shoes, but they weren't dress shoes. And he was also barred from his graduation until the teacher next to him, Mr. Butler, offered to let him wear his shoes. So I just kind of want to ask you guys a question. Like, is this a matter of just a dress code violation or something more? Because I watched the press conference. Well, there was a press conference for Ever Lopez, and it got very political. Let me go to Dr. Palin. Dr. Palin, is this just about dress code, or is there a bigger issue at play?
I just, it's hard for me to say because I think that we have to respect the fact that everyone does have a dress code for graduation. I think that, him putting the flag over, his kind of as a robe, should not have been allowed, and it wasn't. I think that's a dress code violation. But if he wanted to have the flag, like take pictures with the flag and have the flag, maybe have a smaller flag in his hand. I'm totally for that, but I just don't think that was the place. That's the graduation, and I feel like that was just brought for attention.
Okay. All right. So let me go to Nikki. Nikki, how do you feel? Is it just a dress code violation, or is there something deeper behind this?
I don't know how I feel about what. I feel like if it was just a dress code violation, they went way too far. I mean, to tell someone that they can't get their diploma for something that that doesn't add up to me. And I think that's ridiculous. I think it's way more, even as ridiculous or more, the kid with the shoes. I mean, because what if in reality that was all he had? Like, no, you don't know everyone's situation in that instance. But as for the flag, I mean, it's been a ridiculous year. Nothing about the last year has been normal, so to speak. And I don't really think that that's the worst thing that's happened in our schools or like in our country. And if the kid wanted to walk down and get his diploma while representing, who knows, maybe he was the first person in his family to graduate, or maybe he's the first. He could be just have a really, really proud family. And he wasn't causing a ruckus. He literally just had it over his shoulders. I feel like as a school district, if I were a part of it, I would think that you would want to pick your battles. And that is not a battle. Look what it had, like, to deny him his diploma. That wasn't right, in my opinion, at all. And I just think it was blown out of proportion. I think they could have just let it go. And he wasn't causing a riot. He wasn't causing a revolution. He was literally walking very calmly, just proud of himself and proud of his heritage. And maybe it's unorthodox and maybe it went against dress code. I don't know. I just denying someone their diploma. I could see maybe stopping it and making him take it off, but you're not going to deny him something he worked for that long. That's insane to me. And why? For what reason is what I would like to know.
And then Ivan, let me go to you. Was this a simple dress code violation, or is there something more at play here?
I call bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. The kid earned his diploma. If this hadn't gone viral, it would have taken longer than 4 days, even 4 months before they would have given it to him. So me personally, I think it's a bunch of crap. He was proud of his heritage. Again, maybe he was the first in his family to graduate. What I think he should have done, my own personal opinion, if you go back to J-Lo in the inauguration and she did the whole American flag thing, and then all of a sudden, bam, she went into a Puerto Rican flag, I would have had that robe off. I'd had a big old flag. I would dancing around town the whole 9 yards after I got my piece of paper and said, screw you. But I mean, I think that's what he should have done. It's my personal opinion. Go with the crowd, blend in, even use the top of your mortar, like which they said was in dress code. You can dress the mortar up, but afterwards, bam, and just blow them away. That's what I would have done.
I like that idea.
Otherwise, it's bullshit. Why would they hold his diploma back for any other reason? Oh, you're not dress code. That's bullshit.
They weren't holding back his diploma. They were just saying he couldn't participate in the ceremony.
Well, that was
but it took him 4
one
days to
story.
get it, though.
Yeah, one
They were
story
holding
he
it
didn't
back.
get it.
No. First of all, you don't even get your diploma. It's like fake. You get a piece of paper in it. It comes after. So that's not even there's no real diploma there anywhere. So they're not saying that he's denied.
Well, then they didn't have to take it away from him.
Huh?
I mean, then they didn't have to deny it if it isn't a real thing. I mean, I just think that I just think it's the principle. What it was the gesture saying, you can't do this because you did this.
Right.
Right. They're saying he couldn't walk up with the flag. Right.
Yeah. I think it was a weird flex.
Right, because he had to
phrase I never used.
Right, because he had to go through so many like hoops just to get it. Like he got it today. Like they told him physically he wasn't going to get it, and also as well, it wasn't in that news clipping, but they were escorted by the police out of the school after speaking with the principal, and the principal was saying that was the reason. And honestly, for me, I think there is a little bit something more at play here because one, these are like some southern states. Like I don't know where was it Ashboro. I think this is somewhere in North Carolina. I don't know. I can't remember.
Ashboro, yeah.
Yes, it is because they were saying that in the news clipping. I mean, a news press conference, and because it got political because the NAACP. I'm sorry, I think I said that right, but they got involved because they want to make sure that people can represent their, heritage. I didn't see a problem with it. I actually liked what I saw, but then I don't think that it's okay to punish him for showing and being proud of who he is. It's almost like you being gay. Because if you think about, let's think about it this way. If I don't know if you guys remember American Idol, Adam Lambert, right? His dress attire, he had like wings, makeup, and I thought he was gay, but I don't think he was allowed to come out on that show. This is just my thought. I don't think he was allowed to come on that show because this is called American Idol, and at that time, being gay wasn't, fully being okay and accepted. So I mean, it's almost kind of like that to me, like it's almost discrimination, like saying that you're wearing these shoes, you can't go to graduation. Like this is something that is so petty to me. Let it go.
Yeah, the shoe thing, like that infuriated me because you don't know, like I said, you don't know what anyone's life is, and you don't to tell someone like, oh, you don't have the right shoes, you can't graduate. Like, what if they literally that was all they had? They're staying at a shelter, they're doing everything they can just to graduate high school. I don't know. And even if that wasn't the case, it's shoes and you cannot see them beneath the robe.
Now, another argument I just kind of want to bring up that I can see that now the shoes that he was wearing, they were nice, but I know they don't want this grungy look. They want a certain look.
Understandable.
I get that, but I can also hear someone making an argument because I've heard this before about heritage. They're like, what if I can bring the like Confederate flag,
So
someone would say that. So is that the same thing? I just kind of wanted to just throw that before we move on.
And also, if I can respond with that, how about if everyone else brought their flags? I mean, it would just be chaos. I just don't think that this is a place to make that message. I disagree with them being escorted off the school grounds with police. That is wrong. That is going too far. But we cannot say that if he brings the Mexican flag, then I'll bring the Armenian flag, and then someone else will bring the Russian flag. Someone else will bring the Iranian flag. I mean, then we got all these people in this, in a ceremony that is a very traditional robe with the tassel ceremony going haywire. So that's the reason why I don't think that it was proper. But their treatment of him, they did not deny him his diploma, but they should not have it. I didn't know about the part that they escorted him off the school grounds with police. That is absolutely wrong.
I think they should have had 500 freaking flags that represent every freaking person that was there, quite frankly. Break tradition a little bit. I mean, at the end of the day, what did the flag really do? Did it disrupt the whole ceremony? Did it change anything? What did it have to do with the price of tea in China? Nothing. So everybody bring your damn flags and have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, like they do that at the Olympics, you know. Like I think that if we're gonna talk about being in a country with more inclusion, right? We're gonna talk about, everyone's welcome. Well, why isn't that okay? I mean, maybe he didn't have to wear it on his shoulder, but yeah, I agree with Ivan. Why don't we represent everyone's culture? But just
But the graduation ceremony committee would have to make that decision. There's this specific committee that sets the guidelines for this. It would be just like if I'm throwing a baby shower and I set the rules, and someone comes and crashes the party in being naked or something and thinking that that's funny. I mean, it's just kind of the same thing. There are rules that they set. There's a ceremony committee, graduation ceremony committee in each high school, and in each college, and that committee decides the code for dress code and how people are going to walk around. So it's just, that's all I'm saying. I just think that was not
To that note, they did say they could they could actually dress the mortar with whatever they wanted to do as far as representation. So there was a spot in there for them to represent or dress up their mortar any way they wanted to do it and still be within dress code. That's what I'm saying. For me personally, yes, he should have done the mortar up, Mexican out the wazoo. And then after he got that piece of paper, pomp and circumstance, whatever, he went through the actual exchange of I got my diploma, then bam, break out with a big flag and be done with it. So yes, there was dress code. There was dress code there where he could have done it that way. He did go a little bit more, but the repercussion for him wearing that flag was ridiculous. Because again, if this had gone viral, they were going to hold his diploma back from him, and that's bullcrap.
Because I've seen that happen in school. Like for me, I've seen like dumb shit, people not being able to get their diploma for absolutely no reason. Because they all know that walking across the stage is everyone's dream of getting that diploma. That's the one thing. High school is graduating.
You worked for it. You earned it.
You earned it. And for them to take that away from you, that kind of punishment, it's a little bit much. And to me, it's cruel. Especially if it's something this little. I will understand if he came naked and he was trying to flash everyone. All right, that's a problem.
I have a problem with that.
Right, or he wore something that
you said you do or you don't, Nikki.
I mean, I do.
I can see.
That I do have a problem with that.
So, guys, I see both sides. Let's just go ahead and move on to our last topic, to our dear Prudence, because I just kind of wanted to share this with you guys.
I'm excited about this.
I don't know. You find the best stuff. So let's get it started. So it says this: Dear Prudence, my boyfriend has always been terrible at giving gifts. For our 8-year anniversary, I gave him lots of hints that I wanted something special. In all the previous years, he gave nothing. This year, he said he got me something meaningful, and stupidly, I got my hopes up. On our anniversary day, he gave me his, wait for it, wisdom tooth. He had to have it extracted a few weeks earlier and kept it so he could give me a part of himself. I'm upset beyond words. How do I teach an otherwise wonderful man how to give good gifts without specifying exactly what I want? I just kind of want to go to Nikki first on this.
I completely forgot. I did read this and I'm so glad I forgot. Okay, like first of all, isn't it like if you say like you want a part of you, like your like body to like be in someone, isn't that like cannibalism? Isn't that like part of the definition? I want part of me to be a part of you. Like that's not just like bad gift giving. Like she's like, he just doesn't know what to give me for anniversary. Like he gave you one of his like baby bones out of his jaw. Like a one. I don't really know. And also though, what I want to know, dear Prudence, is how do you tell how like this girl sounds like she still wants to like figure it out and be nice, but I want to know how do you leave someone on those grounds and only those grounds? Because if everything else was perfect, you would still have to leave, right? You would have to go immediately. If someone is like, here is my tooth. I mean, it's or you could go like, I mean, Van Gogh gave a piece of his ear. And he's really famous now. I don't know. I think it's crazy, but I love it so much. And I just wish I could know the outcome. I want to be there with them, like while she talks to him about
Well,
this.
what would you say to her? What would you say?
I think I would. I mean, I would be like, "Is this what you think is?" I would make sure that this was just him trying like a romantic whim, and I would make sure that he knew that this is not like a normal gift giving. Like this isn't something that could ever happen again. Again, I wouldn't. I want to tell her to not say anything and just be like, "This isn't going to work," and leave. But say she really wants to make this work. I would talk to him for I would make sure that this wasn't like a normal thing in his family, maybe. I would probably do some more research on the relationship for sure. I would leave, but if I wasn't going to leave, I would do some research.
Dr. Palin, let me go to you.
I mean, I just cannot emphasize, highlight, underscore. I would definitely do the research. I don't know what else to say. If I said I would definitely do the research, like real deep research on the family.
And Ivan, what about you?
Okay, she's an idiot. Number one, 7 years of this crap. Okay, you're not going to get anything. Now in the 8th year, you really think something's going to change? She should have been wise enough to take that damn tooth and punch him in the face with it. But anyway,
right.
I mean, she's an idiot. 7 years, really? It's time for you to scratch and move on because
7 years and she got a tooth.
yeah. Can't wait till 25 or 30.
I mean, is this real? Like, did this really happen?
It's the enamel anniversary.
Yes.
The enamel anniversary, exactly.
Oh my God.
Even the tooth fairy said hell no. I mean, come on, give me a break. A wisdom tooth? Stupid. That is STOOOOPID. Stupid. Just saying. And if she chooses to stay with him, then hey, you made your bed, darling. Lie in it. Just watch what's under your pillow because there might be some more teeth coming.
Right? What if he starts taking her teeth?
That part. The bone collector.
Okay. See, I love, asking you guys these questions because I pitch it to you and you don't fail on delivering. No, definitely not. I agree. I agree with Nikki because I definitely would leave because 7 years without any gifts. Okay, that's one thing. But he shows up with a fucking tooth. Okay, so I know my shit is not that good because a part of me, nigga, a part of you is a part of the bank account, shared apartment.
Maybe it's not a tooth.
You give me a copy of your car key, that's a part of you. What the hell is wrong with her? And yeah, she's trying to stay with him. That's the one thing. That's why I had to read this to you because she wanted to realize how can I tell a wonderful man how to get better gifts. And I'm like, I feel like that's the one thing that's
how do we tell you that you don't have a wonderful man?
Yeah, because it's the one thing that she wants, is a great gift, and that I don't think she's gonna let this shit go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She's not gonna let this years down the road, especially with the wedding, whatever coming up. But definitely, wait a minute,
they're not married.
No, that's her boyfriend.
Okay, wait, I just rewind.
With some loose screws in the head.
Absolutely. You know what? But we can't blame her. I've dated some crazies and it happens. You just get sucked the fuck in and they make you think you're healing them, but you're not. But this girl should just leave. Leave, dude. He's dangerous and I think giving it, he's not dangerous. He's crazy. He's not going to give you what you want. If after 7 years, I'm sorry, 8 years, it was 8 years. If after 8 years, he's not going to give you what you want, it's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. So,
ring. There's not even a freaking ring. So what do you really think you're going to get for a gift?
Hello, a tooth. He spent money. Okay, think about it this way. He spent money. He spent pure, right, Jess? Is a different kind of level of crazy. I agree with her. But he spent money to get a tooth extracted just to give it to you for a wedding gift. An anniversary gift. Dude. Leave. Yeah. Say less. Say less. All right, guys, we ran out of time. We're all gonna say goodnight. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, that's my brother. That's my older brother. Hi, Chris.
Chris.
Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you guys next week because we have representative from Orlando, Florida, Anna Escamani joining the panel. Be there or be square. See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.